Hi everyone, welcome to Blue Prism session for MindMajix. So let us discuss about Blue Prism and the uses of Blue Prism with a simple demo and what are the contents we cover in the Blue Prism course. Before getting into Blue Prism, let us understand what is RPA. RPA is a process in which robots are designed to mimic human actions and automate the tedious tasks without any human involvement. Basically, RPA is a robotic process automation. It's a process which robots are designed to mimic the human actions. Basically, we are trying to automate our work, reduce the human work and automate with the help of robots or software robots. Those are done with the help of RPA technology. That is done with the help of RPA technology to reduce the human interventions. If you see RPA, there are three terms involved. One is robots, process, automation. Any robots or any entity which mimic human actions are called as robots. Process, nothing but set of steps which leads to some activity. Automation is nothing but a robot performing the human actions without human involvement. Agenda for today is this. What is RPA? Uses of RPA. What are the different RPA tools available in the market? And what are the major tools in the market with the competitors? With respect to the competitors. Blue Prism introduction. Architecture of Blue Prism. What are the components involved in Blue Prism software? Among them, there are Object Studio, Process Studio. We'll see a small demo on it. We'll see what will be provided apart from this. Example, what will be the project works covered, kind of POCs covered during the session. Resume preparation, all those stuff will be provided. I have totally 12 years of experience and from last 8 years I am doing continuously on different technologies. Once I gain experience on certain tool, I prepare a proper agenda and then start giving trainings. This is about me. Coming to Blue Prism, I have totally 2 years of experience on Blue Prism and I worked on .NET, I worked on Java, worked on business intelligence tools, open source, Microsoft tools. Coming to the course content, I'm just scrolling down. These are the total syllabus about the Blue Prism, which involves all the components about the Blue Prism, each component and their details. Coming to what is RPA. Just now we discussed RPA is nothing but mimicking human actions to perform a sequence of steps that leads to meaningful activity without any human involvement is known as RPA. RPA is a robotic process automation where any bot, any entity which mimics human actions is called as robot. Anything which is working automatically, it might be your motorcycle, it might be your car. See, gearless car, automatic car is there, right? So it's automatic we call. Why? It is working or it is taking care of the principle of gear system. We are not switching any gears. It is taking care internally. That's the automation. So here manual work is reduced. Hope you got a simple example. What is the use of automation or a bot? A process. Process is nothing but sequence of steps, step-by-step execution based on human instructions. So before developing a bot, it's our responsibility to design the bot. It's a bot. It doesn't have any brain. We are injecting the brain inside. So we are giving the instructions how to work. So process is nothing but sequence of steps which is defined by the developer, which is defined by the RPA developer, which leads to a meaningful activity is called as process. Coming to automation. Automation is nothing but which runs automatically without human intervention or human involvement. When we combine these three terms, robots, process, automation, there the technology comes robotic process automation. To give more info on RPA, before going to the next slide, doing more with the software is the essence of digital transformation. If you see digital transformation from our school days, the transformation is keep going on. It's going on, it will keep going on. Will be going on. It was going on, it is going on, it will be going on. The technology keeps changing, the trend keeps changing. In school days, as I said, we may have only gear system cars. Later, we got automated cars. Now, no need to drive. There are bots you can control from your house. Okay, it keeps running. Or there is instructions given in a system. You just sit and keep quiet. It takes you to the destination. That's where automation comes to picture. Where you sit and give the instructions in a app, what is your source, what is the target, what is the path you want to go. See, there are multiple ways between the source and targets. You may need to give the which way you need to take. So if you give it, automatically the engine inside it understands the instructions by the bot, defined by the bot, and bot takes you to the destination. And it is more secure than human driving. It has sensors, what is coming very near or far, and there are the program is written in such a way if something comes in this speed, They had to apply a brake. So such kind of things evolving. Okay, anyway, that's apart from the topic. So doing more with the software is a sense of digital transformation. Let me tell you a simple example. In my school days, there was no any school management system software. Everything they were maintaining in the books. If you see office room, school office room, everything having racks and filled with shelves, filled with books and files, folders. Okay, everything was written. Later, when I came out of the college, when I started my job, I saw that schools were purchasing a software called as school management system, where it has database and some UI, and they enter the parent details, student details, staff details, fee details, salary details, everything, marks details, everything into a system. So they have to manually enter it, and it gets saved into the backend. Just think, so here digital transformation has done. Just think, there are 1,000+ students joined today. So every time we cannot make a parent to our customers to make wait and keep entering into the system. So what we do is we keep note of those things, or we keep note in the Excel fastly. So we keep note in the Excel fastly. So you have 1,000 records in your Excel, or many records in Excel. Now it should be entered into the system. Clerk's job is to take the Excel, open the Excel, see that, and keep entering into the application. Click on save. It's a very tedious job. If it is 1,000 records, okay, it takes 3 days or 4 days or 1 week to complete. 10,000 records, 1 lakh records, 1 million records. It is a very tedious task. To overcome this, automation software service. Here, if you just think 1 million records are there, forget about school, a similar requirement came in your office where 1 million records or 10 million records or 10 crores records are there, where it has to be entered into an application. There are some data entry employees are required, and this project completes in 6 months and next project is not available. Company does not dare to hire such number of employees for the sake of one project, because next project is not there in the pipeline with such capacity. Instead of hiring data entry people, hire a RPA resource, hire a RPA architect, design your requirements, plan your requirements, and design the solution and implement it with the help of 3, 4, 5, 10 RPA resources. RPA resources give the instructions properly with the help of RPA tool, and once they execute, automatically data is read from your Excel file. Your application gets open, how a human opens, and values are entered, how human enters, and click on save. Maybe page 1, page 2, page 3, they navigate through and then save. And this takes, for a human, let's say 1 record 10 minutes, and software robot can do very fastly. You can give the speed also. Based on the speed, it keeps executing and saving to the database. Here you are saving time, and n number of records could be there, not a problem. Your robot does not get sick and does not require a leave. It is available 24/7. Reliability, you can rely on the bot because it is just taking the instructions given by the user. Of course, there are cons also. The negative side also, the application which you are working should not have any changes after you execute the bot. So of course cons are there, but we should focus on more advantages as to speed up the data processing, and automating, reducing the human. And company will be very happy. There are today, example, 50 employees required, and company will run 50 robots at a time. Now requirement gone, project gone, 50 employees, no need to get fired. Just switch off the bots. So no need of hiring and firing. Just hire the people, RPA people, which does the job. And number of RPA resources are not same as the data entry resources. Very less. So I'm just trying to tell the use of RPA. Doing more with the software is the essence of digital transformation. Reliability will be there, scalability will be there, and organizations benefit more from this RPA tools. What are the different RPA tools? Actually, there are many RPA tools in the market. Most of the tools are RPA, but among them which has more focus in the market or more demand in the market are first Blue Prism, UiPath, Automation Anywhere. These are the 3 different tools which has much demand in the market. Coming to the differences between Blue Prism and other tools, Blue Prism is a licensed copy. Earlier they were not giving any free version. Now they are giving 1 month free trial. Blue Prism, from last few months, they are giving 1 month free trial. Earlier they were not giving any trial version. It's a licensed version we have to buy, and it is more popular in the market. It's one of the Blue Prism is one of the software which started this RPA concept. No programming knowledge is required. It's very easy tool to learn. Of course, all the RPA tools are easy to learn, easy to implement too. Of course, certain challenges will be there when you get into the real requirements, but easy to implement, easy to visualize what is used in this situation, what can be used in this situation. Easily, you can map the requirements with the available components in your RPA Blue Prism. Provides official certification programs. We'll discuss about certifications later. UiPath. Coming to the UiPath, there is a community edition, that means nothing but free version, and there is an enterprise edition. It's also most popular tool. UiPath is also most popular tool, and UiPath has given UiPath Academy where we can do some, learn some UiPath related stuff with the help of company videos on UiPath company videos. No programming knowledge is required. Automation Anywhere, this also has a community edition, and this is less popular compared to Blue Prism and UiPath, but still a competitor. But compared to the popularity, it's less popular compared to both. And recently launched a certification at the cost of $50. So this is about intro to the different tools. Let us step into the RPA Blue Prism. RPA Blue Prism is the one which released in the market or which found in the year 2001. RPA Blue Prism is found in the year 2001 by a set of process automation experts to develop technology that could be used to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of organization, mainly to improve the process automation feed. Okay, where really the back office people, where they really require automation, they are tired of doing the data process manually. Initially their focus was only back office, where they recognized an enormous unfulfilled need of automation. In 2003, first commercial product called as Blue Prism Automate was launched in the market. Later in 2005, version 2 of Automate for large-scale processing came to the market. And cooperative financial services used Blue Prism to automate manual process in the customer service sector. We'll see what are the clients using Blue Prism later. And there are many versions: 1.1, 1.2, 2.0, 2.1, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, 5.0 was one of the versions which were in the market around 3 years before, and that has a full almost all features which a bot requires. Earlier they started giving the features, keep on incrementing. 5.0 is almost good version, I can say, and 3-4 years before that was a standard version, and later 6.0. 6.0 is in the market. Of course 6.0, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, like 6.x is in the market. Depends on your project. You may purchase a office project. Office will purchase the latest version basically. But 6.0 is a standard version, and we'll give in our session 6.0. I'll be sharing the software with you. You might get a confusion. Why you said it's a license, but how can you share the software? Yes, we'll discuss. Of course, there is a free version. Just remember it. We have a free version too. Automate versions, 6.0, 6.5 is going on. 6.6 also there. Coming to the next step, let us know how this Blue Prism works, or let us understand the Blue Prism architecture. Just think, this is not a Blue Prism architecture. Just think there are humans here working. There is a requirement here in this place. Just think there is a human. There is a requirement where a person needs to connect to one web application, enter the details, and get the user information. Let's say I need to enter your name and I get your details. Okay, what is your ID, student ID, what is your name, and what is your email ID. I send those to MindMajix. Let's say I have a trainer end application. I enter your details. I'll get your details. Okay, which batch you belong to, and I submit those details to MindMajix. So MindMajix people will get me. I enter those details. Your ID and your name, your email ID. I give to MindMajix, and MindMajix people will give me to which batch you belong to, who is the support person spoke to you. I submit your batch number and the support person, let's say, into some other application. I'll get to know when you have registered, how much amount you paid, how much amount you got discount, and what is your background, all your information. So here I got a requirement where I need to submit, or where I need to speak to different applications and submit inputs and get outputs. It's a very tedious task, correct? To overcome that, with the help of RPA tool, how you are automating a question could be there, right? This is how we have Process Studio, Object Studio. There are two different tools, two different development environments which are used to develop your bot. Here you perform the logic and give those instructions to this Visual Business Object. Visual Business Object, or also called as Object Studio, is a place where you have application modeler speaks to the external applications. Process Studio cannot speak to external applications. Application modeler is residing in the Object Studio. It speaks to external applications. It could be a web page, it could be a Windows application, it could be a mainframe application, it could be a Java based application. It speaks to the external applications, sends the inputs to the application, gets the outputs from application, sends the inputs to the application, gets the outputs from the application, sends input and gets out. Based on that, I can do some calculations and get some other output from the process. Process Studio has some components. Of course, here also the similar components are there. Object Studio. These are the two different development environments. So this is used to speak to the external applications. This has the logic to implement with the application. Now coming to architecture, I just told about 2 points. Those are development environment. Before coming to development, someone has to install a new and someone is administrator for your entry, for your login. So who gives it? Where they'll do. System manager is a place where admin creates logins for you and admins give rights for you. What kind of rights you have? You are a developer, only rights related to the development environment. You are also an administrator, full rights should be given. Okay, different rights or different access levels are there. We'll see it. So system manager is a place where we configure all the user information, all the scheduler related. So whenever you work with customer has a different calendar. So for that calendar we have to work. Why? Because customer may work on Sunday and Saturday and they take leave on Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you see banks in India, they work on first Sunday and third Sunday. Second Saturday, fourth Sunday holidays. So we need to schedule those or we need to prepare those calendars. That's done under system tab. Such kind of things are done under system tab. Control room. Control room is a place where you can create your sessions, you can schedule your sessions, you can call your calendar accordingly, you can schedule, you can create a timetable. Such kind of things are a control room. I'm just giving a high level information about each component or each area of Blue Prism. Next, Blue Prism software sits on database. See here, database means before you install Blue Prism, you have to install SQL Server software. In the development environment or test environment or in the environment where you work, that requires a database configuration. Blue Prism with database configuration. In a production environment, you'll have Blue Prism server configuration. In a production environment, you'll have a Blue Prism server configuration where you don't require database. In a Blue Prism trial version, you can work with Blue Prism trial version without database. But if you are installing Blue Prism in your machine to practice, to develop something for your project, then it is required to configure SQL Server and then link your Blue Prism with SQL Server. Without that, we cannot work. So Blue Prism creates some tables, some Blue Prism tables, some stored procedures or some programs which helps, or example calendars, or if you want to prepare a India based for, let's say, MindMajix calendar is there. I want to prepare a calendar for MindMajix employees and it is in India. I need to prepare a calendar such way what are the holidays as per India and the working hours or working days for the company. Likewise, I need to prepare the calendar. Those data where it is stored in the database. So Blue Prism database is required or database software is required before you install Blue Prism. Before you configure Blue Prism, you have to install SQL Server and make sure it is working and then configure Blue Prism pointing to your SQL Server or create one database for the sake of Blue Prism so that the data required to be saved in the database, Blue Prism takes care of creating and saving this. Blue Prism process nothing but Process Studio. So you know about Studio. This is commonly called as Studio. You know about Blue Prism database. Of course, this is not required. This works in the backend. You know about control room, system manager. 1, 2, 3. Still there are some other components, but high level architecture is this. What are the features of Blue Prism? First one is scalable. What is scalable? It is allows scalability. All the process can be executed and monitored using the control room. Okay, or control management. Whatever the process you have, all at a time you can execute and monitor at a time. If you want, we can scale up. You can execute more and more. You can reduce as per the need. So scale up and scale down is possible. Of course, hardware requirements plays a role that is behind the screen and architect will take care of. Analytics. There is a area where you can develop your reports, Blue Prism reports, and we'll be taking care of explaining those. Generally, it is not covered, but we'll take care how to create a report, how to create the dashboard, how to set your dashboard as your home dashboard, all those things we'll see. Analytics is an area where you can create your analytics or dashboard and you can create a report to see the performance of the robots. So how it is performing also you can develop. Coming to the security, everything is stored in the database. You can make it as a Windows authentication or you can make it as a SQL Server authentication. It is completely abstract and safe. Nothing is shown to anyone. Accurate. That is the reason why we go for RPA tools, not only Blue Prism. Why? Because it gives accurate results. We can execute n number of processes using the tool, using your Blue Prism tool, and there is no any limit. It provides accurate results. In parallel, these could be any number of processes. Any number of processes you can execute. You can get the accurate result. Robust. It provides load balancing features, data encryption features, all those things, and provide for floor support. Yes, floor support is there, but there is certain cons. It depends on the customer and the need. These are the high-level features of Blue Prism. Companies which are using Blue Prism. As I told you, Cooperative Financial Services first use Blue Prism. Aveva Insurance, Capgemini, Coca-Cola, EY, nothing but Ernst & Young, Equinix, P&G, Cognizant, and many more companies. And all these companies are partners to Blue Prism. More than 60 companies are partners with Blue Prism. What are the components of Blue Prism? As I explained you in the architecture, Object Studio, Process Studio, Control Room, System Manager, Object Studio, Control Room, System Manager, Dashboard also I told you. Analytics is the area where you can create your dashboards to create own dashboards. To checking your process execution, to check your own process, how it is working, or the need on the customers, how they want to show the process execution. That can be done under the dashboard. And release manager we didn't discuss. Release manager is nothing but giving your bots to the client, giving your bots to the production system, where you pack all your development work. It could be process, it could be objects, it could be calendar, it could be scheduler, it could be work queues, it could be X, Y, Z, whatever you configured while your development, everything you pack it as a package. You call it as a package within the Release Manager, and you just give a release today. You are going to give one file to the production system. In the production system, you open that file, you get all the work whatever you did in your development. After 1 month, you develop a few more things. Again, you just pack those things. You edit the package. Already created one package. Right? You edit the same package. Add those features. You will release 2. Release 1.0 over, release 2.0. So we'll be seeing how to release versions. How to release the developer things to other system. How to do that packing things, package concept. We'll see in the practicals in the last session. So this is about Release Manager. Finally, dashboard, as I discussed, dashboard is the one where you get reports in it. You can develop your reports. Basically, we don't use dashboards in real time, but still I'll give the info how to work with. This is about the components of Blue Prism. How the technology is in the market. If you remember the question, is it required to have a one tool or is it required to have multiple tools knowledge today? The question I didn't answer. Yes, it's time to discuss about it. Blue Prism is there from years and other tools also from years. And people keep increasing learning a technology year by year. The number of developers increases, number of projects increases. The tool has more demand in the market or had more demand in the market. The number of customers or number of developers or learners increases. Now also there is good demand for the tool. If really you are expertise in the tool, they take you. But I am not expertise in the tool. I am good in the tool. Why should I take you when I get many good people in the market? That's the reason it's better to learn one or more tools of RPA technologies and then get into the market. There is a considering, though let's say I am expert in Blue Prism, but you are good in Blue Prism and you are good in UiPath, or you're good in Blue Prism and you're good in automation anywhere, they consider you than me, though I'm expert in only in Blue Prism. Why? Because you know two tools and they can use in any one of the projects across UiPath or Blue Prism, UiPath or automation or Blue Prism or automation anywhere, any combination. So it's better to go with a combo of tools. And if you learn one tool, learning other tool will be very easy. You can implement the same examples in other tools. That's the scope of the technology. Yes, there is really good need in the market. Provided really good skills are required. If you are really good skill, you are really skilled enough with two tools, you can measure yourself in the market than going with a one tool. That's the suggestion. And there's a trend. See, 3 years before, if you know Blue Prism, they blindly take you. Now, let's say you are taken. 3 years before you are taken, you worked on 3-4 projects, let's say. You are now very good in the Blue Prism and you even learned some other tool because of work. Now you are in the panel. You went on Blue Prism without experience. Okay, how people come to the interviews. You can easily judge whether the person who is sitting opposite to you has really hands-on or not, has really good knowledge on Blue Prism or not, to what level he is good at. We see all those things because I am also not a core Blue Prism developer. I transformed to a Blue Prism developer. So I know where are the gaps. Luckily, I moved from within the same company. I got changed to the technology. But yes, I have seen multiple people, even in my relatives, just telling. So there are chances identifying what you are easily, where you are easily. Go with two tools, you can manage easily. So you are a Blue Prism expert. You are in the interview and I am the person who knows Blue Prism and automation anywhere, and I say I'm good at Blue Prism, you accept it, and you see automation anywhere also I have knowledge, you may not question on that because you don't have experience on it. So that's where I can gain my marks. Better to go with combo of tools. Market trends, yes, there is good demand. There is good demand. Only thing is, we should properly prepare and we should crack the interviews without failing. Coming to the certifications on Blue Prism. These are the different certifications and these are the pass percentage and this is the duration of the examination. These many questions will be answered. And this course helps you to go with AD01. There is APD01, there is ASD01, there is ARA01 and many things are there. And you can see 5.0, 6.0. You can ignore 5.0 thing. You can go with directly 6.0. There is developer, professional developer, ROM architect, all those. But this course helps you for AD01 only. On top of it, I'll be giving set of materials, set of documents. Offline you have to prepare. So post the course or during the course, offline you have to prepare on yourself. Then only your certification or your learning will be faster and you will be in the right track and you get a certification easily. You have to work hard. Apart from what I tell, you have to work hard on some other concepts. You may get new things. Training is always a path for you to step on. Later you have to run with other concepts even. Because tomorrow once you get into a job, you get new things to learn. Every day it's a learning curve. So this course helps you for AD01. And I'll give a set of documents, materials, all those things. Those helps you for your certification. I'll be giving the patterns also. So let us see a small demo on how to work with Blue Prism. And I'll just show you the environment, then a demo I can say. So this is how your Blue Prism entry looks. Logged into Blue Prism. This is a dashboard. This is a studio. This is a control room. This is where you develop your dashboards. This is a release manager where you develop your package and release your content. This is a system tab. Here are the users. We'll discuss about more on this later. Coming to the studio, I create a small process, object studio, process studio. I'll create a small process. This is a place where you can describe about your process. In short, you can call BP. BP is nothing but Blue Prism. Okay, whenever you open, you get already start and end. This is nothing but a canvas. This is nothing but a canvas or development area. By default, you get start and end components. These are called as components? No. These are called as stages. These are called as stages. Many stages are there. I'll just introduce a very small program today. I'm not going to tell a complex thing. I'll introduce a small program how to work with. See, I have a variable in programming, in general programming is int A, comma B, comma C. I have three variables. These are called as variables. People who don't know programming, I just explain here. These are called as variables. Variables are nothing but which hold a value for some time. Which hold a value. I just set A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. And I say C is equal to A into B. Or else just C. C holds the multiplication of A, B. These are all called as stages. A, B, C are variables. So we require a variable which can store the value. Here those variables are called as data item. Data item. If you see, this is called as a link. Link is used to connect two different stages. You may get a question, can I connect this data item also? Try. I am trying to connect this data item to end. It is not working. So data item is not a stage which can be connected to next stage. Data item is a variable which can store a value. That's all. Okay. Now let us take data item. I call this as a variable A and data type is number. It's an integer. Here we call it as a number. What is the initial value? I just said 10. Let me call as 100. What is the current value? No. Current value, no need to declare. Initial value I am giving. Click OK. We'll discuss about these options later, whenever we see the actual classes. Click OK. Let me take one more data item. I call it as B. and again it's a number. I keep 150 here. Okay. And I have an output. I call it as output instead of C. I will call it as output. What is your output? It's also a number when you multiply A and B. Is there any initial value? I don't want to define any initial value. Even I am not defining 0. Current value will be coming at the time of execution. Click OK. Now what is your calculation? A into B. I have a calculation stage which is used to multiply, or which is used to divide, which is used to sum, minus. Not only this, you can write any expressions here. Not only your operations, you can write any expressions here. Let us see. I'll keep it here. Or else this output, I don't call it as output, I call it as product. Okay. Product, or I say C only I'll call. Let it be C. Click OK. I'll take one more data item. Okay, let me not take. Let's see how we can get the data item without dragging and dropping. Connect this. Click on this link stage. Connect this to this. Connect this to this. Click on pointer stage. Double click on this. And I create here, or I just change the name of this as product. What is a product? Here you can give the description. This is used to multiply A and B. You can give. And here I just say A into B. Is it okay? Come out of it. Just say evaluate. It is throwing an error. Evaluate is to test your expression. It is throwing an error. So here you have number C. Whatever the numbers you have defined, it is there here. Select A, drag and drop. This is the syntax. You can ask, Venkat, can I write the same way? Yes, you can write the same way. Square bracket, small a, square bracket, close. Open square bracket, A, square bracket, close. And this is case sensitive. Don't try capital A. It's a case sensitive. Now into square bracket open, small b, square bracket close. Works. You can drag and drop. It makes your job easy. If you are very good at keyboard and you are good at syntaxes, typing, understanding fastly, and yes, go ahead with typing. Better is drag and drop. I go with drag and drop actually. Evaluate expression. See, this is asking you can test your expression by giving some inputs. I just say give 2 and 2. 2 2s are 4. Output is same. If you want to try a bigger expression, not only this, minus, I just say 50 divided by 2. So what is that actually? See here, I just say 25 into 2. 25 into 2 is 50. Okay. 25 into 4, it is 100. 100 minus 50 is 50. 50 by 2 is 25. Output should be 25. So the expression could be anything. I am giving this expression. I am not giving A into B. I am writing a different expression. Okay. I don't know what are A and B. From the A and B product, I want to subtract 50 and then divide that output by 2. Evaluate, it is working fine. We have one more option, validate, and we have one more text box. What is this 2? We'll see. Whenever you click on validate, it is throwing some warning. Stage to store the result is not existing. What are these all called as? Stages. And what is telling? Stage to store the result is not there. Where you want to store the output? That is the question. That is the error. I want to store the output in C. What is this C called as? It is called as a data item stage. It's a stage only, right? So here you can go your way. Square bracket open and close in C, or better drag and drop here. Drag this and drop it here. No square bracket C. There is a chance we do mistakes. Okay. While learning, it's better to follow this way. Once you get pro, start doing your typing. Okay. Intentionally, I was given A here to see its error. Intentionally, I have given here square brackets to show you that it's error. Now see validate. You can see expression is valid. Working. Click OK. What are this? Yes, time to go for it in the real sessions. Let me click on OK. Now everything is set. There is one error. Errors will be shown here. But before seeing this error, click on reset. That's a good way. Whenever you reset, it will be reset. It will do a reset of latest errors. If there are any really errors, it will show. If errors are resolved, it won't show. Example, I'll remove this. Let's see. Click OK. And see, 0 errors. Reset. Got an error. The error is stage to store. The result does not exist. Stage to store the errors does not exist. Click OK. Now see, this still shows one error because it's not updated. Click on reset. 0. I want to execute this. Click on play. You see the output comes into the C. What is output? 7475. Is it correct? What is A? A is 100. What is B? Into 150 minus 50 by 2. It is 7475. The expression is correct. Output is correct. Expression is okay. Output is correct. Now I want to print here one output. I want say that expression executed successfully or the calculation is completed. I just want to print some message in some other output. So for that also we require Control Z. We require calculation stage. So for this is, I just say this as, so I just say within the double quotes, this is a string, okay. Immediately you get a question, if calculation is not completed, how to show it? Maybe you see based on the conditions it has to go. For that we will be using a decision stage. If it is success, show success, else failure. Now this is not the time to go and jump into decision. Before decision stage we need to learn some other stages. So I don't go for it. But where is the output you want to store? I just call it as message. Message is the output. Is there here? Not there. Just click on this. It came under text. It just got created one output. Where is that output? You don't see it, right? I'll show you. This is a text output. This is a string output. So automatically created an output. Whenever I just click on this button, a small button which looks like an eraser icon in your MS Paint. Whenever you click on it, automatically you'll get a data item with the same name. Whenever you click OK, you will see that data item here. Got it? Hope it is clear. Moving on, just save this. Whenever you click on save, it saved message output. Whenever you save this, it is going to have a log of it. I'll show you where. Whenever reset, no errors, then whenever you execute, it is going to get the same output here. Calculation is completed successfully or successfully completed. So I'll keep, if it is not successfully, if any error comes, I need to go with some other flow. If any error comes, error means at the runtime error comes, how you are going to handle it. That is called as exception handling. We'll discuss about it. So this is very small demo to just show you how we work with Blue Prism. This is not any complex example, to be frank. This is very silly example to just make you understand these are the stages. This is how we use. Okay. I just stop the execution here, reset, and close this. You can see here, process created, saved message output. I just saved right in between. So every log will be maintained here. For everything, there will be a complete log of item. See how many logs are there for this process. Okay. So this is how we work with Studio. Of course, Object Studio is there. We'll discuss about Object Studio inside Application Modeler, how to work with Application Modeler, what are the different actions later. Okay. This is about Process Studio. Projects. So we'll be discussing about multiple POCs or multiple mini projects, I can say, during the sessions, and I give a couple of assignments too, and everything will be progressing. See, today I cannot simply go and say this example. Why? Because to get into this, you should know about the stages in Process Studio, the stages in Object Studio, Application Modeler, and then you can connect to these projects. So it takes little time to step onto this. which happens in a progressive way during our course. Automating sign up to the web page. So you have sign in page, sign up page in multiple pages, right? So you can automate your web page by multiple steps to automate it. So I just give what are my username, what are my password, and go on sign in. Or I want to sign up, I will give my username, first name, last name, age, date of birth, or with the help of drop downs. So here this is used to demonstrate how to browse a web page using Blue Prism, how to send inputs to the Blue Prism, how to get outputs from how to send inputs from Blue Prism to web page, how to get outputs from web page to Blue Prism, and sign up or sign in or some other action. It could be any action, not only sign up or sign in. We require Object Studio stages, application modeler, and some other few basic concepts. Project execution, use action stage. I told right, action stage we use to connect to any external application. You say external application, we use action stage. We use navigate stage. We use read stage. We use write stage and some other stages to handle the exception. So there are chances exception may occur whenever you browse a page and access page and send inputs and get inputs, right? Get outputs. So we need to handle the exceptions. We work with radio buttons, checkboxes, and any other web element. It could be a text box or buttons or some other web pages, web elements. We'll be covering all the fundamentals before stepping onto this examples or demos. Another project, automating the data to update to the database. So pulling the data from database, pulling the data from Excel file, processing them and sending to the database back. Read data from database, do your process, send that back to the database. This is something really happens in your projects. We are trying to mimic that, or we are trying to imitate the same or similar thing in our examples. But we cannot get the real data. We cannot get the real environment. We are trying to, or we will try to get similar environment with lesser data but similar calculations. Calculations logics remain same, but data changes. There might be very big table with a lot of records and lot of columns. Here we use less columns. So this requires database access and some basic SQL commands to read the data from database, load into Blue Prism, and some basic commands again to send back the data to the database. Knowledge required is Object Studio, how to connect to database, how to get data, okay, how send the data to back to the database. So application modeler and Object Studio again here required. Project execution here use external application means action stages. Can be connected to the database, sending the SQL query to the database, getting the data, all will require action stage, collection stage, calculation stage, multi-calculation stage, choice stage. There are many stages. So I just mentioned a couple of things in the slide. Okay. Assignments will be also provided during the session. So coming to the next project. So I just mentioned a couple or three projects during the session in this slide, but we discuss more. There is a concept called as work queue, very, very important concept. And if you are working in the real time, or if you are going to work in the real time, this concept is mandatory. Working with work queue and defining the priorities, what is work queue, all those things is the prerequisite for this. So this is used to demonstrate how to read the data from database, load into the Blue Prism, assign that to the work queue, and then prioritize them and do some necessary calculations or necessary logics and necessary rules, and then send back to the database or send back to the Excel file or any other application. Knowledge required is again SQL Server or Excel if you are working with Excel, or any other database, Oracle also possible. From Blue Prism you can connect to any database. Of course Blue Prism sits on SQL Server. But Blue Prism can connect to any database. And knowledge on work queue is mandatory to work with this. Process Studio, Object Studio, knowledge on work queue is mandatory. Okay, we use action stage, we use correction stage, we use choice stage, we use calculation stage, we use actions, different types of actions to work with work queue. Business requirements also discussed how this requirement. First we'll define the requirements for this project. What are the requirements? We'll clearly write point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4 and point X, and we achieve the requirements step by step with the practicals. And to implement this it may take 3 days or 4 days or 5 days. It's a week time it may take, but slow and steady. It can be done in 1 hour for me, but for you, slow and steady, achieving the result and making you to implement the same, at least first will make meaningful course or meaningful concepts for you, right? So this example or this project covers all the learnings during your course. We'll be providing the SQL Server Express Edition. We'll be providing Blue Prism. We'll see how we can work out with the license, trial version, all those things we'll discuss. Don't worry about the Blue Prism software. We have trial version. We provide you. Next, additional course details. So we'll be giving set of documents where you can prepare on your own, and we'll be giving guidance on the certification and certification pattern even. So that's what the supporting document. If you want more about Blue Prism, portal.blueprism.com is the area you need to sign up and you get more info. We'll be giving the Blue Prism documents. We'll be giving the Blue Prism documents only, something not I have edited. It's a Blue Prism direct document, and we'll be guiding you which document to go with. We'll be giving sample resume and we'll try to help you on the resume preparation also. This is about the session today. If you have any questions, please send your questions. We appreciate your questions and we try to answer your questions as early as possible. Thank you everyone for your time. That's about the session. Thank you. Take care. Have a nice time.